Hey there, Ramble. Welcome to episode 25 of the Digital Ramble. I'm joined as always by JJ Cannon over in Houston. Hey, JJ.
Hey, Chris, how are you, man? Man, it's been a minute since we hopped back on this mic. I'm so excited to be back in the studio with you.
We missed a week. We've had a week off.
Yeah, we had a little bit of a national holiday over here in the States, and then y'all let out of school. We let out of school as well, but you and your family, y'all hopped in the vehicle and y'all did a little tour of the UK over there.
Yeah,
and outside of the UK, yeah.
Yeah, we did basically a tour of the UK. We went from the top of Scotland all the way back down to where we live in Norwich. So we did a lot of driving, but we went up to see some family. So
that's cool. That's always fun, man. Yeah, our kids, they let out of school, and goodness gracious, I'm just trying to hold on to them. They're ready to go somewhere.
We're also being blessed with some really, really good weather here in the UK. And that's really fitting for what we're going to talk about today, because when the sun is shining, we like to get outdoors. We like to get into our gardens. We like to entertain outside. So we're going to talk about outdoor tech today. It's the season 3 finale. It's the end of our Smart Spaces series.
Yeah, our Spaces series has just been blowing up, and for those that have not caught any of our Smart Spaces series, please take a look back, probably about 3 or 4 different episodes in there that you'll find very beneficial, enjoyable, exciting, and kind of laughable in some of the things. I was listening back, and it's pretty good, funny shows, man. A lot of fun.
Yeah.
A lot of fun. So, yes, let's get into today's topic of Smart Space Outdoor Tech. Hit it, Mike. One of the hottest spaces is the backyard or the garden. Y'all call the yard the garden. I call it the yard. And, there are a lot of technology that can be implemented in tools or, into your landscape. Are there certain items that you're seeing a lot of over there, or that you'd like to see a lot more of?
I'd like to see the use of more lighting in gardens. I think people spend a lot on their plants and their hedgerows and their pathways and the terraces and the decking that they put out in the garden, but they often just rely on the lights that are bolted to the wall of the building. They never seem to expand the lighting down to lighting up any trees or pathways or the use of timers and sensors. So we're always encouraging our customers to look at outdoor lighting and spend as much attention on that as they do as their kitchen lighting or their bedroom lighting or their lounge lighting.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can use lighting in a really cool, creative way instead of it just being your traditional ice light or your warm light. With new products that are out on the market, you can really add some flavor and some color to your outside landscape with some color. And I know around our pool and around our landscape that we've added some color elements of lighting, and it always gets you to stop and take a look and say, gosh, that's kind of cool. It's definitely a wow factor, as well as it kind of adds some value and wowness to that outdoor space, whether it's in the front or in the back.
Yeah, it's always something I try to schedule into our projects, that I try to be around when it's dark to see what the lighting is like outside, to make sure that it's adequate for entry and exit. It's maybe providing some security element, but ultimately to see how cool and vibey it looks when those terrace lights are on, or those step lights, or those up down lights on the building. I love to see how welcoming a home looks from the outside.
Man, have you ever been in bed, you and Anna, early in the morning? Maybe it's a Saturday. Well, actually, maybe it's a Sunday, because you work on Saturdays too. But on a Sunday, and you finally get some downtime. It's like 7:30, and all of a sudden you hear this, it's like an assault of yard tools around you. It's not even your house. It's the neighbor across the street or next door. man, it's like, Jose, man, I'm trying to sleep. And he doesn't care. He's just trying to get that yard mowed. I'm really seeing a lot of like electric tools and machines come into play. Like yesterday I was watching, and there is a lawnmower that's actually affordable that you throw your battery into, and it maps out your yard, and then it actually mows your landscape for you. And it kind of goes back into its little hidey hole until it's time for it to come out and mow the yard again, which I thought was fantastic. And as well as it, so that noise pollution is greatly reduced, by using this new electric lawnmower. But also, the pollutants that that a two-stroke can put out into the environment as well is reduced. Every little bit counts. Same thing with like your leaf blower.
Sure. Yeah, the use of the battery-powered garden tools and accessories is really growing, and I like the multi-use that you can have a battery-powered garden tool that is multifunction. So it might be that's a hedge trimmer, and then you can detach the fitting at the end and make it a grass trimmer, or it can be used for other attachments. And it reminds me of a little bit like the Dyson vacuum cleaner in a way that it's got different attachments, but it's battery powered. It's so mobile. You can take it to the extremities of the garden. One thing I hate about our lawnmower at home is the electric power cord that is always like 2 meters short, and then I need to run an extension cable, and I have to like open a window and put like a cable outside and plug it in. So to have the flexibility of being able to go wherever I need to garden with my garden tools being battery powered is really, really cool. And obviously we know that battery technology is developing all the time, and I'm excited about what will come in the future from battery powered garden tools.
Or geo mapped products, that are coming out. I could see the yard guy parking at the end of the street, and all of these electric robot mowers, a fleet of them coming down your street and hitting the yards, and then coming back to the trailer. I could see that happening. Once you get that yard mowed out there in that outdoor space, and a big seller for us down here in the South is like irrigation, man. I mean, people spend a tremendous amount of money on irrigation, like $30,000-$40,000 on landscape around their home. And you really need to find a way to keep it alive, manage the water that you're putting on that product or putting on that landscape. One of the biggest products that we're using is like this Ratio, and it also has a wireless water flow meter on it. But the Ratio, what we like about it is you can assign it. Yeah, here we go. Here's a picture of it. You can assign each zone and tell it, is it sun, what kind of soil, what kind of foliage is in there. It takes all that data. It connects straight to your local weather station. So it knows, like in your neighborhood, when it rained last, and then it adjusts its watering table and its watering schedule to whatever is appropriate for the landscape style and when was the last time it rained. And I went over to a client's house this past Saturday, and her yard was absolutely gorgeous. I mean, it was green. The shrubs were green. The yard was green. And it was a home that was being remodeled, and so everything was just all stomped out. And, I mean, it was pretty atrocious. But with the Ratio, she's been able to monitor the water and make sure that the appropriate water is put on there accurately, and it's absolutely a gorgeous yard.
So because we don't have a Ratio system here, but I'm assuming it's a unit that fits to your existing sprinkler infrastructure in your property. So you'll already have the hoses and the sprayers out there, but this replaces what you may already have in your...
Yeah, so ours are traditionally located like in the garage, and you got to go in the garage and you're trying to figure out how to adjust that dial and push these buttons. It's not very comprehensive. With the Ratio, it's app based. You can open up your app. You can see how many gallons of water you're putting on your yard, which is just, I mean, I dare you to look, because it is just mind-blowing how many gallons of water you put on your yard just in one cycle. It's you're like, holy camole. And then you compare that to a gallon of water to how much gas costs. You're like, oh my goodness. That data really gives you some awareness of where your investments are going.
So there's connections then to the water within the unit. So you're connecting up a water supply. No,
all it is you take your traditional control unit, you take that guy out and you put this guy in its place, and so all your electrical wires that are going out to your valves just plug into your ratio. And so it's literally, there's no replumbing, there's none of that going on. You take out your old manual controller and you put in your smart intelligent controller, connect it to the Wi-Fi, and you're ready to roll.
Yeah, I think we would like to see that something like this in the UK, because as our climate's getting a bit warmer, this term now that you hear a lot, this 1 degree or 1.5 degree rise that we've seen in the last 40, 50 years in our climate globally. We're seeing longer summers, hotter temperatures, a lot of drought-like symptoms in our crops and our gardens. And if people could manage their water better, I think it would be a smart move if there was something like this in the UK. So that would be cool to see. But is this something that you guys install, or are you also seeing garden contractors, landscape gardeners? Is that part of their services, or is it more the Smart Home Pro is doing Ratio?
I think the Smart Home Pro is bringing the awareness. We are not seeing new homes built with this type of technology. They're still putting in your traditional manual irrigation control piece that, it's so painful if you have a sprinkler head that breaks or somebody runs over it, and then a lot of people just don't water their entire yard until that particular head is fixed. Whereas with Ratio, you can go in and say, hey, zone 7, pause that zone, and it still keeps the regular schedule watering for the rest of your yard. So it's something that the smart home community installers like ourselves are creating some awareness that this does exist, and trying to get clients to grasp on the importance of, man, this thing's only like $250. It's not a bank breaker at all by any means, and they have a couple of different models. I think it's like $250 to $299, somewhere in there. Depends on what extras you want with it. But yeah, 8 zone, 16 zone, whatever you want.
So once you've got this lovely, lush lawn, your beautiful plants around the garden are all looking good, you want to spend some time out there. And one of the things that you will do when you're outside, when the weather's good, is you cook outdoors. You bring the food outside, you get that grill fired up, you get the table set up, everybody's outside dining, and it's a huge part of your culture, outdoor cooking. It's certainly become part of UK culture in the last 20 years as we try and become more American or Australian. Tell us about some of the tech that you've seen in outdoor cooking. We've seen sensors and barbecues, things that are connecting to your smartphone.
Yeah, man. I guess one of the most dominant ones in our market would be like the smart thermostat, that you can put into whatever you're grilling, whatever meat style that you're grilling. You put that information into the app and, what you're trying to do with it, and then it, through Bluetooth, connects to your cell phone and allows you to make or have some understanding of what your meat is doing, there on the grill, so that you can get it just right. Mama, at least my wife, she's in the kitchen, and she's trained. I mean, in the skill of culinary, whereas myself, I'm not so well skilled. I mean, I need as much assistance as I possibly can. College only helps so much, you know what I'm saying? There's only so much barbecuing I could have done on the weekend in college, but now, this is for the family, and I got to make sure that it's rubbed right and cooked right, and make sure that my chicken is not pink on the inside, which is always a concern of my wife. She wants to make sure that the pink is gone. You know what I'm saying, Mike? She wants to make sure that it just ain't there at all. And so Weber, they got this thing called the iGrill 3, and it's something that we like dropping on and putting in our barbecue pits. And let me see, my computer here is not liking me today. And you got these little sensors here that you stick into the meat that you're trying to cook, and then this little doohickey here sends a Bluetooth signal back over to your phone. And from your phone, you can manage how long it's been on there, what the proper cook time is, and all that good kind of stuff. All right, what are y'all doing outside? I know you're trying to catch up with the States and stuff. What are y'all doing over there?
Well, yesterday we had our first barbecue of the year, and I was in charge of the cooking. I do like to commandeer the barbecue, but if I'm not cooking, I do like to stay close to it. And when you're at the barbecue, you do always need that cold drink to keep the heat at bay as you're flipping the burgers and turning those sausages. And what I did find frustrating is the trips back and forth to the fridge indoors, and back and forth to the fridge. And one of the things we found out in the show research was these smart cool boxes. I would love to have had that yesterday beside the grill.
Check this out, Gamble. Check this out. It's called the Coolest. Yeah. And it actually is the coolest. It's got a margarita blender on the top of that bad boy. That's like mandatory down here in the States. You got to have a margarita machine in your cooler, I guess. But this one's really cool. It has all kinds of cool accessories. You can get the blender on the top if you need it. They also got solar panels that you can pop on top of your cooler. And then, of course, your tunes or your rechargeable needs. So if you're sitting out at the beach, you can plug up your phone and play your tunes all day long, and the solar panel will recharge it for you. I'm wondering how heavy it is, though. Weight could be a factor for me. I like something that's light and durable, and I need some wheels on it.
I could see the use of this even at home, just taking it down to the bottom of the garden where our barbecue area is. We've no power down there, so just that battery powered, solar powered facility would be really, really useful. And again, I'm going to look to see if there's anything in the UK that's relevant. But I'm also thinking I might bring an extra couple of bags when I come to Denver and just fill it up with all the tech that I keep saying that's not in the UK. I'm going to fill up a container and take it back in September.
That's what we'll do. We'll just have a container sitting out there at the airport, and we'll just shoot some stuff over and lock it down and ship it over to you.
One of the things that we saw last year at the CEDIA Expo was a smart outdoor umbrella, a smart shade for outdoors. And it was one of the highlights of the show. It was one of the largest items on the show floor, this huge motorized, solar powered, again, outdoor shade, like an umbrella that tracked the sun. It had music speakers built in. It was acted as a Wi-Fi repeater. It acted as you could charge devices from it, and it was just a stunning piece of tech that would grace any garden. It really was a kind of jaw-dropping bit of tech to see it moving at the show and opening up, and some of the mechanical movement on it was really, really smart. Yeah, and that's the craft.
Yeah, I like it. It's called the Shadecraft. They have 3 different models, and the one that we saw was called their Sunflower model, and it has solar panels built on the top spine on top of the umbrella itself. And like you said, man, it finds the sun and it follows the sun, so whoever's sitting in the shade below it is always shaded. And Bluetooth speaker, has a Wi-Fi access point built into it. I mean, it's got a little bit of everything that you need for outside. I like it. And the other cool thing, Gamble, is they have 3 models. I really kind of like their Blossom just because I like that natural wood look. That they have lights underneath, but the Blossom doesn't necessarily follow the sun, so pretty much it's kind of like a set it and forget it type of solution. And that's their middle of the line. And then they also got the Bloom, which is just a piece that you stick to a pre-existing umbrella that gives you all that recharging speaker, all those types of cool umbrella features that your umbrella might not have. I guess it's taking a dumb umbrella and making it a smart umbrella.
Yeah, it's good to see it using solar technology to provide the power. It's such an underused energy source that I would just love to see it being used more in home tech. Now, most people would have expected us on this episode to talk about outdoor screens, speakers outside that are connected to your Sonos music system, outdoor Wi-Fi, the usual suspects like cameras and doorbells that are monitoring the outside. And just very briefly, of course, outdoors can always be made better by adding your entertainment systems. If you've got the opportunity, run those speaker cables for outdoor speakers. There's some really cool ones out there that they're not just now these big bulky white or black outdoor speakers. Starting to see some cool ones that are embedded in bollards, some that are stylish kind of teardrop shape that are wall mounted. So some nicer looking outdoor speakers. For your tech to have connectivity, remember to run that cable for your outdoor Wi-Fi access point. Get that on the outside of the building, beaming that Wi-Fi signal down to the bottom of your garden. With an outdoor access point, you should be looking to get in excess of 100 meters coverage in your back garden. If you've got a garden that big, put that Wi-Fi outside.
Yeah, I mean, the foundation for everything that we talk about is the network and that Wi-Fi solution. And if you talk to any integration firm to come out and look at your backyard or your garden, I mean, first thing that if you do not have reliable network or Wi-Fi out there, that's where you start there, and then you can build on to your televisions, your speakers, your projectors, all that other kind of cool traditional type of stuff that you stick in your garden or into your backyard.
Also, I said about the usual suspects, cameras. You want to protect your home. You're invested a lot in it. Protect it from the outside. There's cameras that you can have as standalone cameras, but look at other tech that can maybe replace lighting and be an all-in-one light, camera, siren, motion detector, like the Ring spotlight and floodlights. They're very popular here, and I know they're popular with you, JJ. They can replace an existing light fixture or replace an existing dumb light, but give you a camera and a motion sensing.
One of my favorite ones that we're doing, Gamble, is like clients, they'll have a large backyard area and they'll want to communicate with maybe the kids that are down by the lake, or, just want to be connected with whoever's down by the lake. And instead of installing a traditional camera, we'll use like a Nest Hello or a Ring doorbell, so that you literally push the button and it rings your wireless device, whether the person is inside the house or not inside the house, but you can get attention. And especially if there's a true emergency that you need to get a hold of somebody at, you push that button and it alerts everybody, and vice versa. You can always get on your phone and communicate with that person through that video doorbell that's way at the backside of your garden or backyard or down by the lake.
I think if I had that, I would probably be getting calls to bring down more cold drinks, more burgers.
Bring the coolest. Where's the coolest? Yeah. We need the blender.
So we're running up on our time a little bit here, and we still want to squeeze in a Gamble Ramble, which is my turn. And we want to just quickly intro you into season 4 as well, because it's the end of season 3, our smart spaces, and I really hope you've enjoyed it. So let's get into the Gamble Ramble, and then we'll close out the show. Okay, so Gamble Ramble to finish season 3, and it, as always, it comes spur of the moment from what I was experiencing today. I've been to a project that we're in the early phases of in a part of the UK called Essex. Very big project, very complicated home automation system going in here. High value project that we've got to pay the utmost attention to and give it the time it deserves to successfully deliver this project. And we noticed quite early on that there was a lot of gaps in what was going to be happening in this project. Nobody knew who was going to do what. Lots of finger pointing towards the tech guy who was going to solve all the gaps. I was going to be the company that glued everything together. And I had to really put myself forward and say, well, no, it's not my responsibility. this other company is needed for this service. This other provider is needed to do this. And what was good about this project is the project managers listened to that and have now brought in other experts in their field to ensure that this project goes smoothly. And the message this week is that if you're undertaking a big project, a new construction or a major renovation, refurbishment of your home, please build a team. Have a designer, have your main contractor or builder that's got the experience. Bring in the technology pro, bring in the garden designer, bring in a lighting designer, interior designers. All these different people have the skill sets in their specific field to deliver the best in that part of the home. So don't rely on the electrician, as an example, to be the lighting designer. Don't rely on the home technology provider to also give you advice on your access control, your gate system, your garage doors. Yes, we can control that, but we are not the provider or the person who is installing motorized gates or installing those mechanical devices that are controlling your garage door. We know how to control it, but we're not the garage door company. So don't think, just be aware of all the different elements of a home and bring in the expert in each part of that.
Very good, Gamble. I'd like to add just a smidge to that. You know, and like we were talking about outdoor spaces like the irrigation. You know, my firm does not necessarily go out and lay the plumbing in throughout the yard or calibrate the heads that pop up, but we control the system. What its actions are is really what our firm has turned into, and really it's become very important and kind of cool to collaborate with other specialty companies, whether they're, you know, traditionally it was always like cabinets. You know, we're working alongside the cabinet guy. But as technology expands and grows, it's really exciting, and it allows us, I really think that home technology professionals are very creative, you know, because we're always trying to find solutions. But and so expanding and embracing other businesses outside of cabinetry, but more of irrigation or plumbers or electricians and other trade. I mean, concrete, whenever you're doing in-floor heating, you know, or foundation companies, you know, is crucial to having a client left with the right solution for their home for whatever technology that they're trying to provide. And so, yeah, communication is huge, and teamwork makes the dream work.
Sure does. So season 3 is a wrap. Smart spaces, we've covered kitchens, bathrooms, bedrooms, media room, kids tech, outdoor tech. We've covered a lot, and I really hope you go back and tune into previous episodes. Ask us questions, leave comments, even on the older episodes. We will always react to those, and we'll see them pop up on Facebook. We're moving now into season 4. And season 4, we want your help. You, the viewer, you, the listener. We want to, JJ and I, want to answer your home technology questions. We want you to use Instagram, Facebook, YouTube comments. Leave questions for us. We will answer them with transparency, honesty. We won't shirk any hard-hitting topics. We will tackle them. So ask questions of the Digital Ramble. You have 2 home technology experts here with a lot of experience. We want to give you some of that knowledge and transfer it to you.
Yeah, absolutely, Gamble. I'm so excited about season 4. Season 4 is going to be super cool, something new, something that, you know, we have not done, you know, verbally. It's always been on, you know, in text, communicating back and forth with people. And so now we're going to bring it to the forefront. Crazy excited about season 4 Q&A. And what we could possibly get ourselves into. All right, brother. Hey, I just want to say thank you to all of our Patreons that support us, support the Digital Ramble. I want to highly encourage, you know, all of our listeners to go on over to the Patreon and check us out at patreon.com the Digital Ramble. And if you feel value in what we're providing, please hit that like button, subscribe to our channels, and please share with your friends, with your family and coworkers about the Digital Ramble. We are really trying to grow our subscriber and our membership, our viewership, and we cannot do that without your help. So please take a look and share, and we greatly appreciate you.
JJ, I will see you in season 4. I'll see you next Monday.
All right, brother. You take care. Drive safe.
I will.
All right. Take care, guys. Until next week. Y'all have a great week. Every month, the Digital Ramble will receive a regular source of income from supporters who've pledged through Patreon. For as little as $1 a month, having your ongoing support means we spend less time thinking about business and more time creating quality content for you.
Customized, based in Norfolk, England, are proud sponsors of the Digital Ramble. Check out our all set up services. It's smart home installation with ease. Customized.uk.com.
If you're looking to make your basic home smart, check out digitaldelight.com/shop, where they have a variety of different smart home technology solutions that help make smart home shopping easy for you. Check out digitaldelight.com/shop.